It had been on Jinwoo's mind for a while. He then used 8 of his ability points to increase his agility. His current stats were strength at 50, stamina at 27, agility at 35, intelligence at 27, and perception at 27. He still had 2 points left to use. There was no special reason behind this choice. Jinwoo simply preferred having his stats in multiples of 5, instead of random numbers. It looked cleaner. Strength was 50, and agility was 35. He had decided to make them in multiples of 5 just because. He felt happy seeing how they looked. Finally, he put his remaining points into perception. He finished assigning his points. His stats were strength 50, stamina 27, agility 35. Intelligence 27, perception 29. He had no points left to use. It bothered him a little that he could not get perception to an even 30. He knew he had no choice because he ran out of points, but still, he was happy with everything else. He was okay with increasing his stamina and intelligence by leveling up, so I guess that's it. It's tough to be completely happy with everything. But Jinwoo was still pretty happy with how things turned out, since he had thought about it a lot. Then the phone in the living room rang. Could it be the association? Before, Jinwoo would have ignored it as long as possible because he didn't want to go on a raid. But now he was excited to try his new abilities against magic beasts. He quickly grabbed the phone. "This is Hunter Jinwoo Sung. Finally you answered." The call wasn't from the association. Jinwoo felt a bit let down. "Hey there, young man. Why is it so hard to get in touch with you lately?" The voice on the phone sounded really familiar to Jinwoo. He hadn't been called young man since he finished high school 4 years ago, but his landlord had known him since he was a kid, so he still used that nickname. "I'm sorry, sir. I was in the hospital because of an accident." "I see, so that's why. Well, kiddo, I haven't gotten the rent for this month yet, but if things are tough right now, I can give you a little more time to pay." "That's okay, sir. I will send the money today." "Alright then. Do not work too hard. I know you are taking good care of your mom and sister. Money is important, but make sure to take care of yourself." "Yes, thank you for your concern." The phone call ended. Jinwoo took a bank statement out from a drawer. The balance showed he had 8,000 won. He sighed. After paying the rent of 5,000 won, he would have 3,000 won left for the rest of the month. The rent was lower because the apartment building was old, and not in great shape, located outside of Seoul. The landlord had not raised the rent in a few years because of the tough time Jinwoo's family was going through. It's hard to find a place to rent for just 5,000 won these days. It's even harder to live for a month with only 3,000 won. I need to make some money soon. Jinwoo had a clear goal for now. A few days ago he was scared and struggled to kill even one weak monster. How do hunters make money? The main way is by killing magic beasts. Only top-ranked hunters get paid by companies, do commercials and appear on TV shows, which means they earn a lot of money, but this happens to only a small number of hunters. These were the top hunters. Except for some very high-ranking ones, most of them made their money by clearing dungeons. A hunter's rank and experience determined how much they could earn. Jinwoo Sung was seen as an E-rank hunter by the association. He had never even been in a dungeon higher than C rank. These rules seemed tough for him. Jinwoo frowned. Forgetting about the rules, it would be awesome if he could just join a team. He had called several job postings on the hunter's website, but none of them worked out. No one wanted to hire the lowest-ranked hunters. Most of these jobs were posted by freelancers, who worked alone, or in small groups. They had to be very careful about who they teamed up with, because when things got tough, they could only count on their team members. These freelancers weren't skilled enough to join a hunter group, but were still better than the average member of the main hunter organization. This made them outsiders. I've heard that even those hunters can earn over 10,000 won a month. They earned a lot by taking big risks and risking their lives. People often felt jealous of them because of this. But it was frustrating for Jinwoo. Would it be easier to get tested again and improve my rank? She shook his head. No matter how many times he thought about it, he decided it would be a bad idea. A low-ranked hunter becoming a high-ranked one, no matter which rank it was. When someone became a hunter again, it was big news. People loved to talk about such things, especially when it came to hunters. The more people talked about him, the more attention he would get. His powers were growing stronger, which meant it wouldn't take long for others to discover his secret. Is there really a hunter whose powers keep getting stronger? How is that even possible? Which hunter are they talking about? How can someone become like that? He knew he'd attract too much attention, and that wasn't good. No one had ever seen a hunter like him. Some people who were interested in him might try to use him or hurt him. If those people are powerful. He felt nervous just thinking about it. He still wasn't strong enough. Jinwoo kept his secret hidden until he knew he was safe. Getting tested again wasn't an option. He still needed to earn money somehow. A regular part-time job wasn't possible because he could be called at any moment. He didn't want to miss a chance to earn money and gain experience in a dungeon, just because he was struggling to make enough money. While he thought about what to do, a new job listing caught his eye. Urgent. We need hunters of any level. Please come as soon as you can. Jinwoo's eyes lit up with excitement when he saw this. A popular online post had just been shared. He read through the details quickly and saw it wasn't far from his house. He called them immediately. They must have been in a hurry because they picked up before the phone even rang once. Hello? Jinwoo quickly explained why he was calling and waited calmly for their answer. Okay, so you're an E rank. That didn't sound too bad. That's fine. We just need your help to reach the number of people we need. This is a lower level challenge, so it might be harder for you to succeed. We can share the rewards with everyone else, and give you 2,000 as a thank you. What do you think? Can you get here right away? 2,000 for a day's work. That was a lot of money for just one day's work. It was a pretty good deal. He wouldn't get any other rewards from the dungeon, but he didn't want to be too greedy, and possibly miss out on the 2,000. Let's put out the fire first. This kind of opportunity didn't come around often. 2,000 was plenty to live on for a month. Jinwoo accepted the offer. I'll be there in 15 minutes. He quickly left and hailed a taxi. When he arrived, 9 people were already waiting. A man who appeared to be in charge signaled Jinwoo from a distance. Over here, he called out with a smile. The man was tall and had a beard. He walked up to Jinwoo looking friendly. Are you Jinwoo Sung? He asked. Jinwoo nodded. The man smiled and said, Great, looks like you found us without any trouble. Why don't we introduce ourselves since we will be working together today? Asked a man with a beard. He quickly introduced the other members. There were 8 people in total, including the leader. They were all part of the same group except for one person who was joining them just for the day. Like Jinwoo. Jinwoo looked around at his new teammates as he greeted them. He could tell how skilled each member was because he had a better understanding of their abilities. 5 of them were at the same level, and 4 were not as advanced. So there were 5 members who were C rank, and 4 who were D rank or lower. There were specific rules about attacking a C rank gate. The group needed at least 10 members. At least half of them had to be at least C rank or better. The association would only let them go once these rules were followed. Jinwoo was there to complete the group. Now that we have introduced ourselves, I need to tell you a few important things, said Dong-suk Hwang. He was the man with the beard, and had told Jinwoo he was a C-rank tank. Jinwoo seemed very calm as if he had been on many raids before. While Dong-suk explained the details of their plan, a young man came up to Jinwoo. I guess we're the temps. This was someone Dong-suk had brought along because they needed more people. But unlike Jinwoo, he wasn't just here to help with non-fighting tasks. He was a D-rank hunter, and was expected to join the battle. He was a 22-year-old named Jinyo Yu. He tried to say hello to Jinwoo, but Jinwoo just nodded, and looked away on purpose. Jinyo wanted to talk to him, but ended up standing there awkwardly, when Jinwoo clearly ignored him. He scratched the back of his neck, and went back to where he was before. Hey, that's enough, someone said. Let's move out. We're gonna clear everything anyway, so we don't need any details. Agreed. Your complaining is getting on my nerves. As his team teased him, Dong-suk clapped his hands and laughed. Fine. I'll stop here, and we can head in soon. Everyone started getting ready to go inside. Hey, could you two please sign this? Dong-suk handed Jinwoo and Jinhyo each a piece of paper. It was a simple contract. Just write your name and sign at the bottom. Jinwoo would get 2,000 right away, but wouldn't hunt or share in rewards. The rules were the same as they had discussed on the phone. However, the last condition caught Jinwoo's attention. He understood that the group would not be held responsible if something went wrong in the dungeon. Different from raids organized by the association, this one didn't offer any additional payment if someone got hurt or anything like that. This was why insurance companies refused to cover them. Hunters had to find ways to keep themselves safe. Jinwoo realized he was truly on the team. While looking at his own contract, Jinwoo snuck a look at Jinyo's. As planned, unlike Jinwoo's contract, Jinyo was supposed to get a share of the rewards instead of 2,000. 1,001, Jinwoo turned to Dong-suk before signing the document. So what do you need me to do? Nothing special. You can just carry the equipment and follow us. Equipment, Dong-suk pointed at the large backpack. His team was unloading from a pickup truck. There were our lunch's extra clothes, weapons, and a first aid kit inside. Jinwoo noticed the first aid kit. Are we going in without someone to heal us? He asked. You know how hard it is to have a healer on our team. Dong-suk said with an awkward smile. Their group barely met the requirements for a strike squad. They had a temporary member who acted like this. It was all just a social event, and there was no healer in a group full of people who could take hits and deal damage. The temp didn't seem to care, even after hearing they had no healer. That showed he was a total beginner. Jinwoo swallowed his laugh. They're totally wrong. Still, he signed the contract, not because he really needed 2,000, but because he was sure he could stay safe. Here you go. Mine too. Dong-suk took the papers and felt more confident. He shouted excitedly at the others. Well then, let's go. The squad headed to where the gate had appeared. It was an empty building site for apartments. Dong-suk made a disapproving sound with his tongue. The unfinished buildings stood like huge rocks scattered all over the area. If there was a graveyard for giants, this is what it would look like. Jinhyo leaned in close to Jinwoo and whispered, Did you know? The president of the company stole a huge amount of money and ran away to another country 2 months ago, leaving all the employees and investors in a difficult situation. Jinwoo had tried to hint to Jinhyo several times, but Jinhyo wouldn't leave him alone. It seemed like Jinhyo couldn't quite fit in with the other 8 members since they were all part of the original team. Dude, you always this quiet. Jinhyo had started calling Jinwoo dude at some point. Jinwoo was getting really tired of ignoring him. Can't you take a hint? I'm not really good at taking hints from others. Was this guy just too positive, or did he not get it? Jinwoo looked at him with surprise because of Jinhyo's big smile, but Jinwoo felt more on edge whenever he got close to the gate. This was not something he could control. For other hunters, raids were mostly about earning money, but for Jinwoo, they were about staying alive. They brought back a lot of painful memories, which made him feel nervous and restless. Here we are, Dong-suk said, stopping in his tracks. The other hunters looked surprised. Are you sure this is really a C-rank gate? One of them asked. That looks pretty big. You really think they would lie to us? They said investigators checked it twice. The portal floating in midair looked like a black hole. This was what they called a gate. Its strength was determined by the magical energy coming from inside. The Hunters Association told people the rank after checking the level. Then groups or teams would ask to attack them. Big groups usually took gates ranked A or B, because they were too risky for smaller independent teams. Freelancers usually handled weaker portals, with C level being the highest they could safely manage. Dong-suk walked up to the portal and turned around. I'll go first, stay close. The other hunters followed one by one as their leader went in. Jinwoo started stretching a bit just to be ready. Next to him, Jinhyo pulled out his weapons. His sword and shield looked shiny and new. These weren't the kind of things a beginner could buy easily. They looked really expensive. He didn't seem used to taking hints from others. Maybe his family had money. Jinwoo wouldn't have thought Jinhyo was that kind of person. Jinhyo noticed Jinwoo staring and stood up straight, puffing out his chest. You're an E-rank, right? I've got your back, so stick with me, Jinwoo thought to himself. Who's protecting who anyway? He just said thanks. I guess we should go too. Dong-suk led the way and they went through the gate safely. Inside the dungeon it was quiet. It was dark too. Dong-suk gave his first command. Die. Alone. Light up. Yes. Janjua created a glowing ball of light. The room filled with brightness. Dongzuok lowered his shield and tilted his head. What? Where are all the monsters? Yeah. And why were the lights off? Usually torches set in the walls lit the dungeon. This time there were no stones in sight. Jinhyo whispered to Jinwoo. Are there really dungeons with no monsters? Jinwoo signaled for quiet by pressing a finger to his lips. He tilted his head slightly. From far away he could hear the sound of many footsteps. Jinwoo spoke softly. Magic creatures are out there. They just haven't shown up yet. Jinhyo nervously gulped. Skort. Soon the others could hear what Jinwoo heard. Dongskar saw how bad things were. A place without glowing rocks feels extra dark and dangerous. What moves together lives in darkness and comes toward light. Oh no. Dongsuk and his colleagues looked serious. Bugs. They're bugs. Why does it have to be bugs? Dongsuk shouted. Everyone, get into position. They're coming straight for us. A group of creatures were rushing toward them. This isn't an ant colony, is it? Don't even say that. Among magic beasts, insect creatures were especially annoying. They came in large groups and were very strong and hard to defeat. Ants were especially bad. Many hunters had died after accidentally stepping into an ant colony without knowing. Scratch, scratch, scratch. The sound of the bug's legs rubbing against the ground made their skin crawl. This meant the ants were near. Dongsuk lifted his shield up to his face. They still couldn't see any insects though. The squad members were getting excited behind him. What's going on? I don't see anything. But they sound close. Dongsuk, do you see anything? Jinwoo yelled up. Huh? Dongsuk instinctively looked up. SKRT. Big bugs were coming at them from above. A few more seconds, and those people would have landed right on top of them. Animals that attack in groups like insects often do, can be really dangerous. If the hunter's line was broken, they would be in big trouble. Dongsuk felt a chill run down his spine, as he thought about what could have happened if they hadn't spotted the danger when they did. There were many types of bugs but none were ants. He shouted, attack them so they fall. When they're down, I'll get their attention. Arrows and magic flew at the insects. Foshash, Foit bumps KKKR. REE. EEE. SKKKR. REE once. Some bugs were knocked down, the rest moved in to fight. The defenders who could take hits became very important at this point in the battle. Dongsuk used a skill called aggravation to get the creature's attention. All of the beasts turned toward him at once, as if they were following a plan.
Hey bugs, come this way.
SKKKREEE.
Dozens of insects rushed at Dongsuk. Bang bang crash.
His shield stopped every attack from the swarm. Their strong jaws and claws could not get through the shield. Dongsuk stood firm like a tank, holding back the swarm with his steady position. Wait for it. Wait for it. He shouted. He was waiting for the perfect moment to strike back, even as the insects kept attacking him. He waited for the right moment when the bugs were in position, so aggro could keep attacking while the others joined in. This is it. Dongsuk shouted as the real fight began. People called them hunters because they were about to show their true skills. Dongsuk shouted one word. Go. The team started attacking the bugs with everything they had. Loud screeching and roaring filled the air as the magic beasts made noise everywhere. Jinwoo watched from behind as the fight went on. They had made a plan. While he watched everyone fighting, he thought about how to deal with it. It was really annoying. He stopped himself many times from jumping in. He noticed where the enemies were vulnerable. The others often messed up and missed these spots. Jinwoo felt really annoyed because he had to stay behind and watch. They worked well together as a team, so Dongsuk's group wasn't getting hurt much. Even though Dongsuk seemed really relaxed before the fight, he wasn't just pretending. Jinsuk 11 o'clock. Hey guys, we've also got attackers on the right side. Alright. Jinsusuk Min and Juhong. When you handle the right. Got it. Hey Chuljin, I notice your wrist looks really swollen. Let's pull back for now. It's not a big deal. You think we're done after this? We don't know how long this will last. So take it easy. Pace yourself. Got it. They had been a team for a long time, and because of that they communicated really well. Good communication leads to good teamwork. They were totally different from the chaotic group of hunters they once were. And this one is not so bad either. Jinwoo looked over at Jinyo. As a beast bit into his shield, Jinyo quickly kicked the beast back, and then slashed at it with his sword. The pricey sword sliced off the monster's head with a clang. Jinyo was doing great for someone just starting out at rank D. He relied on his good gear since he wasn't very skilled or experienced yet. That's why hunters go to such trouble to get top-notch weapons. Jinyo caught Jinwoo's eye and gave him a thumbs up. He looked so eager, almost like an excited puppy, that Jinwoo couldn't help but return the gesture. Satisfied, Jinho turned around again. A loud screech filled the air. The intense fight was almost over. Once most of the hunters had left the area, Dongsuk said, collect all the essence stones. We will split them equally. Got it. This is my favorite part. Me too. After seeing how excited his team members were, Dong-suk walked over to Jingwoo. Oh boy. We're safe because of you. Excuse me. You were the first one to see the bugs coming from above, weren't you? How did you know they were there? I had a hunch, Jinwoo said vaguely. He couldn't exactly say it was due to his high perception stat. Oh, really? It was just a guess. We got lucky. I don't know what would have happened if we hadn't spotted them on time. Dong-suk let out a breath of relief, placing a hand on his chest. Just then, one of the hunters searching for the bugs waved at Dong-suk. You need to see this. The group gathered around,